late night out. The comfort of your bed, or maybe you're driving and you can hear us, but you cannot see us. Well, as you can see, we've got a cake right here, which we have already cut on the 1st of November. Our marriage, now our anniversary, on the 38 years anniversary. And we thought of, thank you, Ian Prevents, Tiaring, and her team. Thank you, Seru. So we have asked for them to have the cake set up again on Saturday, just so to emphasize a little bit on the 38 years of marriage, which means we will zero into marriage life. And we can also cut the cake together. So we would like to say thank you for taking the time to join us. And I'm talking to everybody and anybody. This morning the sun was up a fair bit early, and we were down at the seawall with the family and the grandchildren and hot. And so it's been a blessing. Like what I said, most Saturdays for us, it's a lazy Saturday that you can say to yourself, I'm not determined to start work at 8 o'clock. You're free to do with whatever that you want to do with your time. And we are all different. Some of us, it's a lazy Saturday. And some of us, it's like, okay, this is the only day that I need to do a lot of things, which means it can start as early as 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock for you to be able to achieve it. So whichever, the feeling for the Saturday for you, or maybe some of you have got sports to attend to, or just take your family to go and do marketing and shopping, a good family time out. Or some of you still maybe listening to us and you haven't reached home. You went, attend a party, or you go dancing, club crawling, or grogging, and you're still on your way home. Well, all the best, and faithfully reach today. So we say welcome to all of you.
Wambula tukani na matakani kuwa na non the family table talk weekend na tukuna we korwa kabiti. Sana tini kabani non the wanua na tiku tumaina asa sawara atu ya sawa mambalabu na sana batura mamba kena bimbarabi kena be uli wanua sana batura ra na kena bimbarabi tiku ngamai rogo boaka me atu sarayani gina wanua le wayangara and koro rambulu sa bakambula tukani na mataka ni singaninday. Nanro nga kinabosa ni mula binaka, siro batake na mosi, tay Levu, rewa, batake na itasi rindo mula binaka, mula malaka. Ida kaundraw wimbo ki madwata, na singa binaka ni kuwa, sinimula dabi, wakang mula taltungay na along may biti raramba, kena biyanyano. May kandabu sa wakang mula tugani, na singa binaka ni kuwa. Sinimula dabi mo wakang mula tugani na bikorokoro, gitu as komatukan na mado sa oti au klani Levu kemenindo sarabatu mai na program go family table talk tala no session bataki na youth stand out so na program ni sakya ni sa kilabi na kasaratunga sa baka binaka takitugan ni simina ni kuwa kimdo mai ngele mumu do bulu binaka na wale mo kimdo na lili busa lili matagali waro takimai na bingarabi lili busa kabatala ni kemuni na turang na marama kenda tukani na hall sa bakang bulat tukani may nanggay bula binaka turang ni abusa au klani biswen orto ni taltal lebi masulaki sa bakang bulat tukani NSC binani basin wala nabi may bulelaka na bole mo na ilili matagali eba batake na ilili abusa sa
bula binaka
bakang bulat tukani bina bole mo nandola tu na koro kena na non talay sote tukani tol lambongi au klani waka toka na bakarara mataki na maru taki ni takos na kalukin non tambula ena simina sakale na baka na buku kerau na buku ni matabubale na buku ni New Methodist Christian Fellowship sa baka binina taki tuani be kemni tale na be SIVT ni baro tumai se kemni sa baro tumai na be sai buru so una lagabang gito lagabadaka lagabang ande se kemni sa lo ni bono tunde tu na bono kemni ngolikina sa baka bulat tuani simina ni kuwa bikam do may Iraki na bono libo Baghdad pinabali mo daw tunin tumay karo so to matagi do na turang na sina noa do ni ibarat ka tiko ko na munin daw sama tiko mai and program ni mai television na we tala na so na we interview so na sa ni kalo so sa torto na no binango mo ba pinabina ka tugan na sama tiko mai and si mo ni ko kim do tala may gola nights kamakatala kinabi kim daw tiko mai ichipita na we indala ni ko mai senay sa bakang bulat tugani we can da tiko mai Israeli Taipei sa dalago tuba ka Nakadaka na buko ni United Nations sa kali mo na mga minaka and nung daw siya matumay. Sino mo gabi? Bigam nin daw gito to may Romania, mga talang may Spain, may Paranse, may England, sa mga bulat gani and
Milika.
Kim do na Vitamani Rawanga and family sa mga bulat gani and sigabi na gani ko. Kenda baro to mo libo London ni Bulaminaka, may Welesis, Kotalandi, Northern Ireland, ni Bulaminaka and matagan ni siganinda. Sa kaliw na mga Bulaminaka non da family table talk. Yung matagan ni ko kenda na vital no tagsar to nga na bibi ni mata bubale, may makani reto na cake. Na cake sa parita ko tiyo aran din ka sa libo na sigabi na gani ko na katulong sa kawalo niya baki ni Romaro taka na Bula Makawati matay ni singa ni Vulaono ba and tini kadiwa walu sa nga bula ka ba ni ko sa may 2022 sa mga bimina ta ito nga ko nang daw bimuli nagkaluma ka tagi ko ya nang daw siya matatu ng bula na kana tangi urukil to ni na kana risangatan ni mbuli eso na mga bimina ka tiko na turangan si winani ko na bimaro
we thought of talking about marriage life today. Not only that, we have a throne room that we receive callers when we have the miracles to happen. We call the program Miracles to Happen. It's a TV live program where we get pastors to be praying over. And even then, sometimes after the program, the calls continue to come. And we have rostered people that actually, come in from 7 o'clock in the morning just to answer this call on the 3 landline and the 2 mobile or cell, and one Voda. And from the findings and the analysis, there's quite an increase on marriage problems. And I believe it's always there, but now when they know that there is a forum that they can call for help and prayers, and these are the ones we know because they've taken the time to call in and ask for prayers. But there may be some, they're not calling anybody. They're just trying to fix it on your own. And you may be one of the ones listening to us this morning as well. And marriage, from what it was like in our days, 1984, I could say, 38 years ago, the meaning of marriage is totally different to what it can, what it has become now. And the marriage from my parents' days is totally different from when we got married, on how they value married life. And the do's and don'ts that you don't even talk about, but it just, it comes naturally. And when it comes our time, like nearly 4 decades ago, it was different. And now it's totally different because of the, how we evolve from one limit to another and another life to another life. And not only that, in the contributing factors around us. The change is there. Not only in Fiji, it happens everywhere. And you can also be testament to this for those of you that are listening outside Fiji. We can anito kin da bakarong to when we were notan na nondambulo vakawati. Na kena duin me nangon na rawati kin na no ditubutubu. At may weekenda gostando tensar. Na velho ni va mawiliu se va watiliu. When somebody commits adultery, it's like a big thing. It's like the unforgiven sin. It's hard to forgive that because of the closeness, like one-off kind of thing. But now, it's like normal. Some get married today or, by next week. They are already out there doing their own business. And some still today, they have their family, they have their children, but they still have their mistresses or their lasai tumba all over the place. And then there's no issues. It's like normal. It becomes normal. The society has made it normal because not only one is doing it, like nearly every second person or third for that matter, have the tendency to do that. And the environment in the workplace and also in family, community, and even in the church has sort of toned down to a more casual atmosphere that has made this kind of relationship or kind of attitude survive or manifest, to be what it is. And it's not something that we can fix, I believe, but it's, it depends on the individual. Like for us, for our marriage to work, it's not for the church or for our family, it's us. It's the choices I made, or the thinking and the attitude of my life, and it's also the choices of his life. So your marriage, there may be contributing factors that come in from the family, or come in from workplaces, or maybe some of you, your husband or your wife, it's outside Fiji or living overseas while you're here. It can be the separation, it can be the distance. There can be a lot of contributing factors, but it depends on the individual. When you trust and you know this is the package you have for your marriage, and you know you love your family, there are certain things that regardless of what you go through, you will never give up that, because you value your family. And that value is not only by word or to be mentioned to say, oh, okay, that's my husband, oh, that's my wife, oh, that's my family. So it's not only a word and a descriptive word, but it becomes a verb, like a dua, like you own it, which means that you are willing and ready because you love your family or you love your spouse. You're willing and ready to to stand up and fight for it and see and check that it works. And I believe, when we are talking about marriage this morning, it's quite common in a lot of families that they may be living just inconvenience because the children are there, but it's love lost. There's no more love in between, and some of us, like we're reaching, like what I said, we 38 years, 2 years, for us to reach 4 decades of our life, of our marriage life. And some of you are just so new and so young in your marriage life, maybe 2 or 3 years, but you're already going your separate ways because the resilience that we used to have before is no longer now. The patience it takes for you to sustain your marriage. And the attack to the marriage, because we believe we are also Christians and we serve God. And we believe every marriage is ordained by God, and God allows every marriage. So it's not a fluke, or it's not just a coincidence. No, it's something that we believe that God bless you or create that marriage to work. And when you have it, you look after it. You will value each other. And the devil or the circumstances around you will always try to attack. It can be through your workplace. It can be the friends that you keep. It can be the secret things that you keep. So at one point, we were sharing about the oneness in marriage, which means, like, when I come in, I come from a totally different setup. My life is so private. I don't go to my auntie's place, or nor do I know them. And I know them by name because most of them are in the village. And I know my uncle, but I was not brought up in a normal Itoke upbringing that you can run to your uncle, you can call Nalilai or call Nei and Momo. Mine was totally different, very private. It was always my Na and my Ta. It was always our family. And we may have visitors that come in every now and then, but it was very close-knit, just us. And I got married to a family. Like for him, when he comes from a big family, and he, extended family. He lives with his extended family, and he comes from a sibling of 12. And our life totally, it's totally different. But to make that work, I will need to, give up some things of my life, and he has to give up some things of his life to try and make it work for us to come in agreement. Okay, this is the way to go. I really don't like the way you do these things. And he will tell me, I really don't like the way you always talk this way.
Vocalize our differences so we can work towards, come in agreement on something that we can agree to make our marriage work. Because if we don't, then I will always stand with what I feel and I know it's right, because it's the way that I was brought up, as well as him. And if we stand on what we believe in and how we have been brought up, I believe you wouldn't be here today, sitting, talking to you 38 years after being married. It's a give and take. And that is for most marriage that are listening in today. So we can dalak may na matapupalin. Dito sa no di sususo. Wana na kami mawat kina bakan renre. Menda vingoma se menda bitelevi so na ka e mata weekenda. And then ronyi katuba to kibale, being part to kibale, ronyi same thing you're talking about, same thing you're having your fights over. But yet, we don't take the time to say, okay, we've been fighting over these things and talking about this same thing nearly all the time. And like 10 years ago, we
Yet, the realization for you to say, okay, if we are fighting and continue to have differences over this one issue or few issues, maybe it's time for me to relook. And, one of you need to give in to make that marriage work. Yeah, I want to kick it off with that.
Yeah, I believe our parents, now our time, we base our marriage on love. When we talk about love, love, closeness, fellowship, give and take, forgiveness. We base our coming together that we love one another. But I believe nowadays the attraction is more physical, promotion, identity, sex,
status.
Look, it's based on something that can change.
Yeah.
No, it changes. Maybe something of the outside. Like for us, when we got married, 1st of November, 1984, it based on love. That means trust, forgiveness. It takes two good forgivers to go through the hills and the mountains of challenges of marriage. And also the give and take, the confessing and be transparent to one another. And nowadays, the patient is no longer there, like the right, individual right comes in. While we supposed to be based on godly values that last forever, and the marriage too will last forever. But if we base it on something that changes, then when thing changes, our marriage
Shaken,
too is changed.
Yeah.
Because we base it on the thing that changes.
Yeah.
But if we base it on God, which does not change, I believe that's why marriage survive. Because any marriage, whether good or bad, church or non-church, Fiji or overseas, we will face through the same thing. Same thing from our workplace, our friends, our relatives, our neighbors. The same thing that attack marriages, regardless where, when, how. It's the same thing that attack all marriages. Now, it depends on the man and the woman, how to handle those barriers or those attacks that want to separate the oneness that you are talking about. And it's very important. It's very, very important because today I was talking to one master that's in Holy Trinity, way, way back, and saying before, maybe only a small percentage of children in the class will come from broken family. But 3-4 years ago, when we were talking, he said, but today it's normal that more than 5-6 students in a class, that comes from broken marriage. Now, then we look back to marriage life, and nowadays people like because of the right that we have.
Yeah. And I believe, like before, like what I said, the resilience was more. Like, say, if you do something, I'll say, okay, I forgive you, like it's always there. But now it's like, okay, as soon as you do that, like the patience. Yeah. And because love is patient, which means that we are not 100%. We tend to make mistakes. We are not trying to justify the fact that errors were made or mistakes were done. And when, like before, like what I said, we can hold on, whatever it is, no matter how bad it is. Your husband can have his affairs, or woman can have their affair. But there's always like a tendency to forgive and to try and move on because you have the children there, right there. But now we see, like if it doesn't work, even if you have a slight differences, it's like, okay, to hell with a lot of things. I'm going to go this way. I'm not going to be sitting here and allowing you to walk over my life. And like the patience now is no longer there, which creates a lot of broken marriages. And it's sad because most of these couples, they love each other. they love each other. And they came together in the first place because of that love. And one small thing that happened, because they cannot forgive, they're willing to let go. So they go their separate ways, and they go and try and find partners, but indirectly, like in their heart, they had something special for each other. But because of that unforgiveness, or because of,
Impatient.
yeah, and feeling betrayed, I think that's the correct word. When you really, really love somebody, and you trust that person, and when they do otherwise, like you talk about everything, you say anything, like you can be yourself with your partner. That's so normal. We've been married for the last 38 years. And there's a lot of things that nobody else knows about you, but your husband or your wife knows about you. That's how close marriage can be. And when one of you does otherwise, look at another woman, or start texting that woman, or that woman looking at another man, or having a relationship, or having coffee, and without telling the husband, like you begin to, hide those secrets from each other. And when that happens, when you come back home, or when you find out, you will try to make it work, regardless, because you see the faces of your children. But now it's like you couldn't care less about it, and you can leave, because out of anger, you can just leave your husband or your wife with the children, and you just walk away. And like what we mentioned from the beginning, we have this Miracles to Happen program live on TV. And we also have callers calling in the throne room on these available lines that is usually crawl under the screen. And there is a lot. And before, majority of these callers used to be women in gender. And now it's surprising, men are as big, the number is as big as women. Which means not only before we used to feel the same thing that is done by men. They seem to be the only one having affairs. And even the society has made it that way, that even men, if they commit affairs, it's nothing, Like, the emphasis is not really there. But when a woman does, it's like, you feel condemned, feel intimidated. It's like you're being looked down on. And so when that was happening, now, with the callers coming in, men are calling in for their marriage, are calling in because the women are leaving home, the wives are leaving home. And not just leaving home, going to their parents, they're leaving home to go to another man and starting new families. So I would say it's quite worrying because of the rate it has gone to. And with our, analyzed figures, we have one of our senior pastors, his name is Vosayaco. When he does his analysis, and he does it every week, it's amazing. The highest is always on family, with marriage as one of them. So as you're listening today, like what we mentioned initially, I don't know how hot your marriage is, how many years you've been married, and the trust within or between you two, or the mistakes made. And, when you come in, you really love each other. You dote on each other. You do anything for each other. And then as you go by, because you already, in your heart, this is my husband, or this is my wife. And you go your way, go to work. So you are surrounded by people in your workplace, or even the community, or even in the church. There always a lot of assumption that the church is safe. We actually lead in a ministry, and I'm always emphasizing to our leaders and speaking to New Methodists as a whole, the church is not here to save your marriage. And when you come to church, it's not going to save your marriage. It's you individually that you need to have a relationship with God and work on your marriage. It doesn't mean you're going to church, your marriage is safe. No. When you're going to church, you're serving God, and your life that you live is going to save your marriage. And don't come to church to hide. You come to church to learn and see how you can take back those teachings to help with your marriage. And that's one, a few things that we've been sharing since this program started. Our relationship at home, the things you can help at home for men, women, the duties at home, the responsibility, all those things, they are contributing factor to make your marriage work. Because lack of each, or lack of the contribution, or lack of help, it creates that break within you that you don't want to say anything, but it's sort of like really hard on your heart. Indirectly, you're trying to say, okay, I'm married to this man or I'm married to this woman, and they don't seem to help or do anything to help me with this family that we've created together. And somehow in your heart, even though you're staying together, it's like you're living on your own. Because the responsibility, accountability, anything and everything about your family, it's only and always you. And even though you're staying together as husband and wife, but they become just a number, and they become just one of the members of the family. But the responsibility, the thinking, the planning, the taking ownership becomes solo. And when we are not careful, those things can be contributing factor to separate ways for marriage. Because one day, if you're not going to church or feeling accountable, one day you'll wake up and you say to yourself, what, do I really need him? Do I really need him, or do I really need her? Like, I've been living my life without her or without him. Like, they may be staying with me, but they're not doing anything to help with my family. So you begin to entertain those thoughts that you can live without them, because they're there but not there. So those are things that we don't want to talk about, but I want to bring it up to the table today. It's a family table talk to talk about it, because you can be there, but it's good after this session, marriage life or couples, maybe you should take this moment just to review your contribution to your marriage. What are the things you help out at home with? I'm a woman, and like what I said, we've been married for 38 years. And I'm not only a mother, I am a grandmother. I have 7 grandchildren. And I'm not only a mom, or a grandmom, or nana, but I also work, which means that I need to organize my life to go to work every day. And not only I work, but I also have a church to go to. And not just a church just to go and attend a service on Sunday, but I have a church to organize its administration and also help in organizing what needs to be organized. So with all those things around my life, I still need to make my family work. I have to find time in every moment. I can be with my youngest grandchild and be a nana, and be a nana to my eldest grandchild, who is 17 years old, and also be the mother-in-law to my daughter-in-law and my son-in-law, or to be the mom or to my son or to my daughter, and to be the wife to my husband. So with all those roles that I play, I will need to be mindful of the fact that at the end of the day, I need my family together. At the end of the day, I need this church organized. At the end of the day, the company that I work for needs to have certain things to be achieved by the end of that week or by that particular day. So why I'm sharing this with you, you have your life. You have things that are there that you cannot run away from, responsibility and accountability. And for me, a little help often, even in the office, when somebody come up and take away a little portion of my work, boy, my heart is so grateful. And I have a daughter-in-law because I only have one son. She looks after our dinner. She cooks our dinner. Whatever is lacking, she goes out of her way to do that. And when we come home, the dinner is ready. And that help, I am grateful. And my grandchildren, they are allocated duties. We do a roster. So every morning they do their duties. 5 o'clock they're up before they go to school. And on Saturday, it's like a thorough cleanup. Whatever roster you've been rostered, the duty that you've been rostered to do, today is thorough. So this morning when we left home, it's a sound of vacuum cleaner, a sound of, like all those spring cleaning that happens every Saturday when it's your duty. And for me, I am really blessed. When I see that and I feel that, it makes me have space and enjoy my family. Because the responsibility and the chores that I used to lug on my own, that can be so depressing at times and very burdened with everything else, that sort of like take away the joy of my life in enjoying my family and enjoying my marriage and enjoying the person that I am. And I want to share this because you can be a couple listening to us today that you may not know that that's what your wife is going through. You may not know that's what your husband is going through. Or for us working moms and our husband stays at home. Like you just up and go, come back and say, can you cook that and that? Can you just clean? Can you just look after baby? And you come in the afternoon like, with no acknowledgement. On a whole day, your husband stayed home to be able to keep things together and keep your family together while you can go and work without worrying about anything that is happening at home. So those are the contributing things for us, I believe, that can make a marriage work. It's not just marriage by name or you're being married to and marriage, when you come in on the first day, is totally different because you have no other responsibility, nobody else there. You have eyes for each other. You have all the time dedicated for each other. But when children begins to come and family and responsibility begins to pop into a marriage, then that becomes a change. And some of us, we haven't accepted that change, and that is why some marriages are not working. Women, very easy to change because it becomes your responsibility. Even some women, they don't change. Even if they have children, they leave their children with their moms or leave their children with their auntie, leave their children with their, other family while they continue to live like a single woman. With their attitude and lack the responsibility to look after their children. So there are different family setup that are present here, not only in Fiji. This goes for foreign as well, because when you are out there, say for New Zealand, Australia, Europe, and America, the money making and the work becomes the in thing for you. So the family becomes secondary. Only the time that you can find to spend with each other, then that's the only time. Say for America, you have live-in jobs, and you have to find a place to either meet when you come out, or some of your live-in employers or the job offered, they allow your spouse to come and spend your day off with them. But even then, it's a very limited time for family to work. So the money and what the world offer begins to chew in to the quality time that is to be there for individual marriage to work at its best and to be the best as it can be. And now, from the church perspective, the only thing that we can do, we are actually just praying for callers, calling in for for their marriage to work, or something that happened, or even children calling in for mom to come back home, or their dad to come back home. So we become, we are reacting to the problem. And having this family table talk, I believe, is a very good forum that we can speak of issues that we can be more proactive to save the marriage before it reach the reactive mode that we are reacting because it's happened. But we can take the time to, think, take the time to plan, and take the time to review our contribution, and take the time to really review your heart on what is valuable to you, your spouse, and your children, your family, and how much your family is valuable to you. Because I believe the value of your family in your heart determines or defines your actions. Because if you really, really love your family, I guarantee you, you will never have extramarital affair. You will never look at another man or look at another woman. You won't even have the time to be texting or checking Facebook and chatting with other women and other men. Because in your heart, you value your family. They become the focal point of your life. They become your life. Because you value them so much, you wouldn't even be doing the things you're doing. But because you don't value them, it's easy for you to be distracted by women, distracted by men, distracted by money, distracted by a lot of things around you. Because the value of your family in your heart was always a question mark. Yeah.
When we change our values, everything changes. You're saying about the value of the families. When the values of the family becomes godly, and then there's one big percentage of your family is intact, because when you value your family in a godly way, you discern that there is somebody that is always there.
Yeah, you feel accountable.
Yeah. You always discern. You always know that this God, the Creator, is watching over you.
Yeah.
Watching over your family. So we call it the fear of the Lord. Yeah. That even to commit those kind of things, even to look at another man or another woman, it's not going to happen, because you have that
conviction.
The conviction.
Yeah.
The conviction that you are accountable.
Yeah.
You are accountable to the Creator.
Yeah.
And you are accountable to your wife or to your husband and to the children. So because of the value that you have. Now when the world is moving, revolving, and changing,
that value never ceases.
we cannot stop that. the change will come. But if you maintain your values, regardless of the change will come, you will
Never be
still
shaken,
have the
yeah.
conviction that you will maintain
Yeah.
your love, your closeness. If anything that is done, it'll be very quick for you to readjust, forgive, and move on, rather than take a hard stand and move your way. Because the world is put it in such a way that marriage nowadays is no longer regarded as a godly thing.
Yeah.
You know? And once we remove God of the equation, then everything will be taken as casual. You know? People will take marriage as just casual, like partners.
Yeah.
Even the wording of marriage, the world is trying to change. Instead of a wife and husband, they talk about partners. You know? That means the whole world is changing. The whole system is changing. And when we change all that, then we are easily changed likewise. So the value of the family that our parents used to value, like you said before, when there's extramarital affairs, it's a big thing. It's a big thing. It takes time to heal. But today, it's becoming accepted in the society. So that's why the marriage nowadays, they last 5-10 years. Like for our parents, hardly our uncles now, they hardly get divorced or separated, because the value of the family, not only in the spiritual side, but the value of they spend, like the whole family come together when there was a marriage. Everybody put in for marriage ceremony.
Wedding,
When they come together, all the food, the mangiti, and all the ngatu, all these things are contributing factor that is in the back of their mind, that people contribute for our marriage. And it's our obligation not only to love one another and to stay close. We must remember those, especially our parents, that they put aside a time and wealth for a big wedding ceremony. But today, our value is reduced. Once the value of marriage is reduced, then our commitment becomes very less and lesser. So it goes back to our values.
Yeah.
So for those of you that are watching this morning, it's a challenge. Nobody is not challenged. Everybody is challenged. Whether you live in the village, we can tambula tuno ko korba vitis and we wanu soya o may na we korli Levu. We can get the tuna we korli Levu ni nakadaka. We can the tunga na koro. Si we can the takataka siya nindu ang alalaki na.
Yeah.
Kembali, and then napakabina katanga na non tambula ni Vivekani doon ang ni Bembuli na kaluwi bulatiko na kanikaruan napakabina kataka non tambula baka Vivekani na kada vital no taka bulan vital no kero kaitiko nandoon ang una sarili ha ng bulan vital no communication. Balta ka baka ito nandrendre na vital no and ang gembudi na taka na Vivekani. When you have good communication and then you talk about you know how to solve the problem because you have a good communication. When we don't have communication, how can we solve the problem? Rawa kada ni vital no taka kaya baka ito nandrendre ito na lenga senda kila kasam taka tuko sona ka kenta sa kila tiko ni sabi via lakotan ito may na nandrakin yung bulakin ang bulakin na atau manda. Yan na kaya binakakin ng bulan ni vital no. Vital no baka lim sa tunda ngona ni ko nandrakin yung bulan ni vital no. Kaya baka dabi wa kito mananga. So ito may babalangi. So era tuibiti. Lita ka tukulo toka se lita ka tukinandi. Se so ito may swara da tukisuma. Sa tuna talebo ni biko yaki sa lebu na ngoni sala. Rani da vital no tukina. Koya me sa kako saranga ni da boka. Berta na lebu ngani no da vital no. Ke baka tako suma indo na rendre lai sendo na kae e baka lati na non da vital no en beauty kan da ginando mo no men kinda bakina nindo na kasa tegebu yali tiko malua en ambula baka biotini non rambula na ngone urang go erlei mabo baka lebu o tiko na fukelu nga saoti en ando na combine sel gai tu nyalo tiko kina endo na dorbo so guluto aun dami tonga no tukunyalo gaitu no ka nitu ta sali bakawati nitu na sali bakawati gaitu na kai tu no ka erosala ko erosali maru ta kana non rombula au sa redi rona ngane ko rolerua kitu sandambe ke tu sa senika me ke tu reve si to vuki ki bei no no ne tal nota me vakai tu nyalo tu na dormongo na ki vaka samataka na non rambula na kaira mai sita ko na ngone ni ngone vosa ki no ko satani na tu no aure di tasa le marutaka no na mata bolu ki tu redi na sa le marutaka no na mata bolu ngayo ya ulma tua o sa senika na dava mo kai vero na ki tu sangai tunga sangai duanga lo ko be ni to bumbu o ya sangai ko tal dona ngani ko ngone be do tal ni to bumbu na rakini mbula mai ado na kabor na maboa do bakila ko na ngone se ngola na ngone o rebi kan kan do na ngone ke da maru ta kan do na ngona ke da mai da be da songo da kana da vinda na baki na songo ni bagawati menge yado menge li bagabuna en do na maboa en do na rawlebu mbala tanga ni ke na senga ni roni ke da bita bata e sona ka e mai bagadal ka ena ado en kame na motiva ya satu eso na ngau ni sala eso eroninda piso so golo tu na kena counseling e tu tal wa vi so tal eso na ngau ni sala eroninda paka bina kata kina ni sama yadoti e tu kona ka menda kaba me tatarovi e tu ko tal nga ndona ka me wolikina ya lele tu kona na ka menda kaba me tatarovi berninda da wani o kwea lele tu ko Porque se que sotin do vital notaki. Me bakata kan dongo. Family table talk. Me vital notaki tu kina. Dendo biwo tiningone roge bakawati nga se gai bernindo na baki. Se sa otin do na baki rose tolu. So na vital no na family table talk wango. E vevu ke. Malto bura na hava la tunga. And tatabuki buki tunga. Bura ke na multi. The world that we live in will always change. Because we are living in an environment that is continue to change.
Yeah.
But we must remember that somebody created this universe, never change. And we can rely on that. And when we establish in our heart, I believe our marriage, our love life, and our relationship can remain intact regardless of the mountain that we are faced every day. Because the mountain will come. Challenges will come.
Yes.
Yeah, it will come. It's the way that we respond. It's the way that we respond. A statement says like this. Marriage can last when there are two good forgivers. Because you can forgive one another. That means our patience level is very high.
I believe it's very easy to say forgive. It's very hard to forgive. Especially so when you feel so betrayed. And that betrayal, because of the closeness of your marriage, sometimes it takes a while. It's easy for me to say, or for you to say, oh, I've forgiven you. But only you know your heart. And sometimes it takes a long, long time, or the longest time, for you to really heal from inside. And sometimes when you're not careful, that hurt or that pain, it always comes out in different ways. Or some moments of your life when your guards are down and you faced with something, or you look at your partner and you're reminded because of that pain, because of the mistake made, or because of that committed adultery or other things that may have happened. So when you're listening to us this morning, to avoid all that, for new couples or for new marriage, it's you are really blessed that you can hear counsel. That you can do something about it now. Other than most of us that we have lived, married, all those donkey's years, and it's trial and error. Like you make the mistake and then you learn. But most of you now, you hear that when you commit that, or when you choose otherwise, and this is a repercussion of your decision or the choices that you make in life. That make you benefit, because you know exactly what's going to happen. So it's either you want that to happen, or you stop yourself from making that happen. And for marriage to work, for me, I'll speak from my heart. It's the accountability and responsibility. Couples are different. Women and men, they are different, as you listen to us this morning. And we are different in times or in elements of our being attracted to each other. Some of you are being attracted by the looks. If you see a beautiful woman go by, even though you have your wife sitting next to you, your eyes will just go, follow that woman. or some of you women, when you see other men, even though your husband's sitting next to you, your eyes will follow that man, like without you knowing. So you get attracted in different ways. And the attraction from the opposite sex come to you in different elements. I would like to talk about that because it can be the unspoken word, it can be the undiscussed topic, but yet you don't realize that it's sort of like, getting at you. So it can be the companionship, like I've always shared for the training that we went and attend. A companionship for women is the first priority, or something that they desire the most. Sex is either on the 4th and the 5th of the list, but for men, sex is number 1. Companionship is on the 3rd and the 4th, which means, like, if a woman is seeking companionship that she doesn't get from home, when she goes to the workplace, or to her workplace, or in the community that she goes to, or even to church, for that matter, and she finds that companionship, if it's for the same sex, fine. But if she happens to find that with a different gender, then it becomes, very vulnerable. Because your need or your first priority is being met by somebody else other than your husband, because companionship is your foremost. And you're looking for that. It's not like you decide, today I want to I want to have a companion with somebody. No, it's built in within you. I mean, these are findings that have done worldwide before they did this teaching to all represented from all countries. So it's something that is already validated and proven. And whether you like it or not, it's there. And sometimes you feel lonely because you can be together, but you're not met. The kind of companionship that you want, or maybe your areas of work in your life are so much apart, and there is no common topic to talk about. And companionship is speaking, communicating. Companionship, it's not sex, it's not anything else but speaking. You're finding a companion.
Fellowship.
Like in America, for those of you listening to us from America, some of the employers, they pay just for companionship. And not for you to come and nurse them or give them medicine or drive them around. They pay people just for companionship, meaning just to sit there and talk. You're being paid to provide the companionship. And most of these elderlies, they are women. And they pay for that. So when you're looking out for that companionship, you can find it in the wrong place if you're not careful. And also for husband or for man or spouse, you must know that there is a need from your wife, which means you will need to somehow find the time. Regardless of how busy you are at work, you need to find the time. You need at least to tell her, okay, can we go out for coffee? Okay, you people find, this is your dal, your rice, serve yourself, we're going to have our dal elsewhere, or we are going to pack our dal, go to the seawall, or we are going to go and have a cup of coffee and sit. Just find the time. It can be 30 minutes, it can be 1 hour, but it's a time dedicated to your spouse or dedicated to your wife. That you just sit there and listen. All you need to do is just listen. Just listen. And you'll be amazed. A lot of women will not be able to really say that to you, or to say, hey, we haven't even spoken this week. Or can we talk? Most women, they don't come out with that because in most marriages, I believe, men are always the controlling, obviously you are the head, overpowering. And for women, it's like, okay, whatever that your need or your desire doesn't really, matter. Like there are some marriage relationship are like that. Your voice is not even heard. So even if you say, man, I really would like a cup of coffee with you, or I would like to, have a good talk with you, you can't even voice that out. So find the time, even in the evening. Find the time, call your husband. If there is a coffee place next to your place that you're working in, meet there. And you have to find the time of that companionship. And not just companionship through the phone. Companionship in the physical essence. You're speaking to each other, you're getting the reaction that you're looking for. And like for us, maybe got married, companionship was very high, because I am a talker. On our marriage, I am a talker. And he's a silent one.
And I can listen.
And I struggle because he doesn't talk much. And now he's talkative. He's irritating again. But when we got
Before-
married, he was very quiet.
Can't even talk.
Yeah. And sometimes, like, I'm talking to him, and we can be awake until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. You know, like years of our marriage, we can stay up late talking. And we talk
Talanoa.
we talk about everything and anything. Yeah. We talk about how we met. We talk about his family. We talk about my family. Well, for mine, it was not much to talk about because it's like nothing really happens the way his family does. Because we come from the village, and a lot of dramas and a lot of colors. But for mine, it's
Rainbow
like dramaless, colorless, boring one. And so it's mostly his family. And there were a lot of things to talk about. And sometimes even my daughter, and when she comes in the morning at 3 o'clock, and she'll be saying, you're still talking. You haven't slept. What are you two talking about? Why? You people, nearly every day you're sleeping late, talking. And I said, yeah, true, eh? But
that was the foundation.
Yeah, that was the foundation.
To bring us together, we understand.
And sometimes, like, I'll be making our coffee, bringing coffee to him. And I can finish about 2 or 3 coffee, and he'll have about 2 or 3 cups there, not even touch. And sometimes, like, and halfway through, do you feel that, women? Halfway through, you're talking, they snore. Like they're sleeping, like they leave you. And I'll wake him up and I say, hello, and I'm still talking to you. Well, I can be the one to say that. But some women said, okay, man, far out. I'm still talking to this man. He just snored on me. And you kept that in your heart. You feel hurt and said, man, how dare. So those are the things. Like companionship for women is very, 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 very important. And if they bring that to the workplace because they don't get it at home, and if they hit the opposite sex and said, okay, we go for lunch, or we go for tea, or can we, grab a coffee? Or we're going for that meeting. Okay, after that we can go here. And all those little meet and little moments, you begin to spill. And when you spill, you're talking to an opposite sex, but not your husband. And as you do that, or even to the husband, listening to a woman who's actually, I'm talking to you if you're a woman, taking this to another man, without you knowing, well, you work together, and or go to church together. Or a man actually being a recipient of one of the women coming in because she doesn't have the companionship at home and bringing it to you. Well, you need to have your radar on because if you don't, then you begin to feel the emotions of that companionship. Whatever that they're saying, their hurt or their frustration, you begin to feel with her. And when you're not careful, then they become your soul tie. They become close to you. Apart from your wife, you have somebody else that, spilling everything about their lives to you. And that is why, like for us, like what I said, we go to church. And in the church, I will always make an announcement in the leaders' training. If for couples, for senior pastors or pastors, if a woman come, channel them to your wife. If a man come, then your husband look after. If a male youth come, go to the husband. If a female youth come, then go to the wife. To rule out that, complacency of just taking on.
The doors, open doors.
They may be coming in to share their problems, but if you're not careful, then you are actually being roped into the emotion of what they're feeling, and they become, like they're there with you without you knowing, because you have allowed it and you have opened, that space. And when this ministry started, we used to have that because we started the ministry, and we never had any training. We just stepped onto it. So we will have women calling him, asking for prayers. And sometimes if I'm listening and I said, okay, give me that phone, I will talk to her. So I said, okay, I will pray for you. Yeah, what is it? But one thing I find, that women find it, when they call, they will always ask for him because they find it easier to share with him than with me. Why? Because of their companionship. It's always there. And for church leaders, or if you know you are part of the church, you need to be very careful. We are not exempted or excluded from the temptation out there. The attack of the devil is more rife for us. And must always be discerning, very discerning. That means prayer life, your trust has to be very sharp. And even for him, sometimes he gets carried away with it, doing that. praying over or talking. Oh, that woman, this and that, and that's okay. Next time they call, you channel it to me. And if somebody call me, or if we are down at Tapu City or, hanging out, and he stood up to go and get something, a young man will come and said, oh, Radini, can I be prayed over? And I said, you have to wait for my husband. He's coming, and he can pray over you. Or if somebody called me for prayers, I will give the phone to him, and I said, okay, I'll take your number. I will get my husband to call you. And that's the way it is with us. And I believe, for me, because I'm always discerning, and I'm always alert, it can be part of the job for you, but you have to be very careful. Because, just to be very careful. I'm talking about the companionship, right? And this is for us women. And sometimes when we don't get that from our husband, it's sort of like, make you, I don't know the word, like you're not interested in that relationship anymore. Like it's there, but not there. You're living inconvenience only because the children are there, and he's your husband. But to enjoy the fullness of it, you're not, because you're not getting the full potential of it. And on the other hand, we have the men. Number one is their sex. So when that is not coming, they look out for it. And when they see somebody, and the times and the days now is totally different. Before you have young girls or young boys, when they come, they respect. They look to you like their mom and their dad. But now, no, there's no limit to age. There's no limit to age. So, live na ngone siyo. Live na dorbo siyo. Live na ngone leo siyo. Nirangay siyo may sa sangatala niyo tama kena tina. Tama kena ngone. It's like some of the men, they're even having a relationship with a 17-year-old, 18-year-old, 20-year-old. We were out in Europe or in England. I think that was in August. A few prayer requests came up on, you have established families out there. And you have young ones coming now into the British Army, young boys, not married. I'm talking about young boys. And they're breaking these families. Women are having affairs with these young men, are coming all the way from Fiji. And these women are actually just leaving their husband and their children. One family that, sent in their prayer requests have got 5 children. Imagine a woman just leaving her husband with 5 children and going with this young man who she's pregnant with. So what we are sharing today is out there. No one is, exempted. All over the world, it's happening. And we would like to bring it to this table just because we are celebrating our 38 years of being married. And to reach these 38 years, it's not an easy journey.
Yes.
It's a journey of give and take. It's a journey of forgiveness. It's a journey of letting things go and reassessing the whole thing and telling you what matters most. My right, my joy, my life, or my children, my family, and what it's worth. Because if it's always I and me and I, no one will be together. I wouldn't be here if it's about me, because I'm not met. A lot of things that are happening is not according to what I want. I'm not enjoying most of the things that I'm doing. I'm doing it because I want my family to work. I'm giving up because I'm, giving all these things and forgiving that and doing all this and making it work because I love my family, because I value my family in my heart. So today, as we talk about marriage and we talk about family, I will need you, or we will need you today. Please take a look inside, peek through your marriage on how strong it is and how much are you contributing to make your family work. And say words of endearments, good words to each other every day. And I know sometimes the things that happen just really make you don't even have any more good words. Like it's either you wake up in the morning, you're screaming your head off, and you're sleeping in the night, you're still screaming your head off. Like everything and anything doesn't work because you're always frustrated. And maybe this is the moment, this is the time to make your marriage work. Take the step back and really look at the way that you're contributing. Or maybe some single mothers are listening to me today. In your heart, you say, if only I had done this, if only I had done that, I would have saved my marriage. If only there's a lot of if onlys. Don't look back and regret what had happened. It's something that you have done and you cannot undo. Something that you have already committed that you cannot go back and undo or correct. But move forward with what you have now. And say to yourself, okay, this is the mistakes that I've made. I've had children from married men. I broke up this marriage. now they're going separate ways, and even the man has not married me, and I've got these 2 children that I had with him. And there are a lot of stories out there. Whatever story it is, you say to yourself today which way you want to go, what would you want out of your life. But don't allow yourself to continue to live your life in misery. You know, you have the right to be happy, and you are given the opportunity to be happy. Don't always live your life in regrets, because those are the things that you cannot undo, or that you cannot go back and hope and wish that it never happened. It has happened. So stand up and live up to what you want to live. And if you have your children with you with no father, that's okay. Hug them and tell them, Mommy loves you. Whatever it is, I'm going to make it work for you. And if you know, maybe not just a single mother, you're a single dad, your wife has walked out on you, hug your children and say to yourself, I'm going to love my children, I'm going to live. Don't allow that to take away years of your life, just regretting, crying, and living in misery. You have the right to be happy. Stand up today and say to yourself, I'm going to make it work. If it doesn't work in my marriage, I'm going to make it work on my own.
Yeah, as Radini said, you know, if there's no patience, no forgiveness, we will not be sitting here.
Yeah.
After the 8 years. Could have stood up and go, not sitting here. She could have stand up and go, not sitting there. Because of our values, the things that we value. You know, sometimes when me, myself, and I comes in, that's when you disregard the person that is been faithful to you, and the children that you love, and the children that you have the responsibility to look after. Because me, myself, and I becomes number one. So you have to forgo all the hard unhappiness, all the struggle, all those moments that you decide. You know, a lot of people, they think that divorcing your wife or your husband is the answer. It has been proven time and time again. You know, the person that will meet next is even worse than the one that you have now. It's been proven. And even in the Bible says God hates divorce. So it's something that we need to take it very seriously, because all the criminal activities, all the rebellious children, all the things that we are facing today, it comes from people that they are not happy. And imagine the more children, the more family that are broken up. How many teenagers out there, how many young people out there, they are going out frustrated and not happy, getting angry with their parents because they cannot make their family happy. So they will go out there because they are hurt, because they are broken. They will go out there and break and hurt people because they have something in them. Who caused that? It's you and me, the parents. So regardless of what you go through in this life, you can make your marriage work.
Yeah.
No? When you change your value, the family value. This is something that is very, very important, the family values. It's only the second to number one, which is the godly value and family value. Those two, they are just attached to one another. And regardless of what you face through, the storm that you face through, the problem that you face through in this life, and it can happen.
Yes.
It can start again. No, it's really up to you. The working of your marriage, we can discuss, we can share our experience. Celebrating our 38th anniversary few days ago on the 1st of November. But we can say as much. Counselors can say as much. But depends on individual that you are watching this program, Family Table Talk. And we believe this is the best time to talk about the family life, especially the married life. The family depends on the marriage. If you want the family to work, then the marriage must work. No? Regardless of our saving, regardless of our investment, regardless of the house that we build, the things that we put aside for our children, those things will come to zero value when the marriage is not working. So we encourage everyone that you are tuning in this morning, Family Table Talk na mula ni Matabubale, na kasar nga ni mula ni Matabubale. And we sing, we can naman ng koro. weekend na sa Bakawati sa Rosanga Bulu, Tulsanga Bulu Beka na bakin Bakawati. Ndo na kama menda na numatiko. Kenda na daga tunga na yan bakitunga. Medo sarangau na kadibitali kinon dambula. Balta siangan indua eroni tukuna au maroroi mai na kango sianga. Na kasa na tatabuki-buki ni buru-burungo. Siangan indua maroroi. Kenda maroroi nga balata ni tiko na kalu. Ena non tamaju. Kembale ena bula Bakawati mai na koro, bula Bakawati. Weekend tu kai tahu ni bula Bakawati. Weekend tu mai babalangi. Ko tu ni tiko Radini na nero tiko mai Inglandia na Vulaono sita. Sa wala Vulaono sita kaya wala tala na Vulaono April baka si Vulaono February. Na kaya do tiko na kabor mato wale. Sa wala nga may Inglandia, at tala may Australia, may Amerika, nakatal to kami New Zealand. Nakatal to kay Viti. Kaya bali sinindo ang alalaki na. Kaya baka kita na biya ba na kuya man kako ni vital no taka. Iya garaw na. Den ang gayado kinanong mato wale. Kakede ko tarada mai. Kakede ko kwa pakasa mataka tumai, tatar na taga tumai. Eno no bulan na isul-soli. Eno be singa ni mataka. Ero ni may pakatungan ang balolo ni bakanana no. Mbalatangan ni ko siningaraw ni ko sinyanrama. Na be kaeso endo tako sumai. Endo may biaporo ka na matawali. Ondo kati wali ruwa na ka men endo ngaraw na sarba binaka. Dua nga na matawali. Kini karua soko-soko loto kita lewan. Ko dua na ka endo don men endo ngaraw sa wali. Matamubale. Atau yado. Matay sarangani atek taga sarangana tevoro. Mero via waki, mero duindui. Ado que weekend tama bota, weekend que lotu. Kembale, kako ninda numa ninda sama bakita buka lotu, kako ninda numa ninda sama bakita bi ena buno kita bakita bikina bakitutu. Sianga every marriage they are vulnerable. Dona kai tu rendi no bina katanga mo ngreta da ketalmai na companionship undo no ba matal tiko ni kwa. La aundo ba matal tunga bi kima mini taltala watala kina bi rando bo swali bona kasini buli ni ko posto tiko ba levu companionship ruana kausulet tiko ndona information kene ka ruana mo spirit ni tukuna tiko kwa ni ndo kaboro mai se ndo e kota mai nona lenga ikemba ni tukuna chuma nona lenga sa tukuna chuma nona lenga na kaya do ikemba la kaboro tanga the spirit of brokenness la ko tal tunga mai kembale ke baganda na siningang garoni ni rala ko may na opposite sex men dagay dingo kenda ni taltala balta ni kanta tunjuk kanta taltala kembale dan ang garo na tuga kero santo address po Levu taltalang gase New Methodist Christian Fellowship ni rala ko may na dorbo merala ko be irna taltalang gase sa be irna taltal la ko may na lewa la ko be Radini ena ngauni saleso men dangang garo ni tuga kina ngoni ba matal tukino Radini ko au sa gaitora bal au do uno tunga ena sana kadua mula nga ni taltala kena mula ni gasini buli na kanda tembura katugani ruwa na kala katugani ke baganda tama marau kenda sulit na mamarau ke baganda tama dulu da sulit na baro ni alonta ke mbale sing talani ko mendanga raun tal tonga we kenda daga tiko sombe baro tumai iko daga tiko sing ni kanilo iko daga levu na kani daga ndolo iko bakatule wakina ke mbale na vivi tugani se turanga se marama se dorbo se konelewa men ganga rontu na baltona dona kawa se Radini na rani challenge ta kikenda talanga ene si bebe weekend ka tambos to ko bonin nakadaka la ko tumay na news mo na abuse mo ni nakadaka na bula baka opposite sex mo ni nakadaka kembale sa tiko na very to ko ni bula men da sa ganga ron ni tunga sangan indo na kaya na soko wasa marabutu ena non dalaguto so nangauna uotale so nangauna dangileta so nangauna dangi urukiltoni so nangauna na dangi lamusara ya ke baka tu binangatuna non da baka rau ke na bika so ke daroni baka rau tagi kenda kina senda na magkira me baka taka na program mo gaungo a family table talker waset gani so talaga non da biso so kolotu so na bono tali so tiku kina nangauni sala so me baka tabuli dikanda kina we tumberi kina we baka rara matagi kina and we baka sarbi kanda non da bono ate.
Communication is very important. You just need to communicate. You need to talk. Don't keep it all within you. Because when you don't discuss those certain issues, it can build up within you, and the very first time you speak, will be the last time you speak too. Because you just have it, fill up, and you erupt, and you walk away from your family. And there are always ways and means of making your family work.
Yes.
And also appreciate your family. Love your family and be responsible, be accountable. And if you know you've been married for certain years and you have children in the house, then feel responsible. Know for a fact that it's no longer just you and your spouse. There are children to be looked after. And even if you say, okay, I'm bringing money in, I'm paying for the rent, or this is the house that I'm paying for the mortgage and the car, it becomes a material provision. And don't think that supplement on what you're supposed to be doing as a spouse or as a father or a mother to your children. No, you have a role to play. And being a husband or being a wife, you are accountable. Being a mother and being a dad, you are more than accountable. And depending on the ages of your children, then that determines the accountability from your end. If they are grown up and they can look after themselves, then it's sort of lessen your accountability. But when they are still under the age that they need you to counsel, they need you, and they need more love, they need more presence of having both of you at home, then that should be the determining factor on how you handle your marriage. Don't turn when the thing will happen. It's already happened and you're reacting. No, try and step up. Take today and relook at the way that you are loving and looking after your family. I'm talking to us men, to you men, from a woman perspective, because I've seen, not only for our marriage, I've seen for people who are calling in, or women that are sharing, that for men, it takes a while for you to feel accountable and be responsible for your family. Some men, they come in very early and they take ownership. I was really inspired. One of the Radinis from our church shared in one of the family table talk. And she said, my husband fold all the clothes, iron all the clothes, know all the drawers, does everything. Not all men are like that, but some men are like that. And most men are not like that. But you may be in that category. And what a blessing. What a blessing you are to the wives. But for those of you who are not, we don't expect you to be doing all that, but at least help. Because your help, help in looking after yourself. And I know a lot of women at home will be agreeing with what I'm saying this morning. Just know where to put your clothes. Know where the dirty laundry is. Some the laundry basket is right there, and the clothes is on the floor. And some is like the hanger there, and the shirt is like thrown this way. You know what I'm talking about. And all those little things to you, it's like, because you grew up doing that. Throw everything everywhere in a mom and a dad's place. Now you are being married, which means that woman comes also with expectations. And when you throw things around, apart from her picking up the clothes behind the children that you have made by 4 or 5 or 2 or 1, and looking after that, then you become another child with your clothes to be sorted and the laundry to be done. So you become another responsibility. Look, some women will not be able to tell you that, or to tell you, I'm sick and tired of you throwing your things around the place. Man, please look after yourself and look after your things. Some may not say that because with that fear, they might get punched or they might get abused, or it's not going to go in a good way. But I would like to be the voice because I've seen the prayer requests coming in. I've spoken with a few women, and that seemed to really stem out and becomes mine as well. The accountability and responsibility of being a man and being a husband and being a father to your children. You don't need to have children to be responsible. No, just being a husband, you need to be responsible. Responsible for yourself. Which means know where to put your dirty clothes, know where to put your clothes when you take it off, know where to hang your towel. All those little things, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised on how that little thing that is supposed to be naturally with you, or for you to do it, on how much it blesses your wife. And I can be the voice of all women, most women today, to you men. And those are the things, because she's your wife and your close wife, like you're the very closest person to you. So you couldn't care less. But when you go out, you're more mindful because people are watching. Or you go to church because people respect you. Or you go to your office because people look up to you. So you're more mindful with your ways and the things you do in the eyes of the many. And you are leering with your wife at home, like throwing everything on, not being responsible, reading the papers. It's like you're in a world of your own. Coffee, tea, can I have another coffee? Or what is that? What can I eat? In the midst of everybody doing their chores and a lineup of things to do, and you're peeping in. Can you do that? Can you do that? And you will never know how much irritating that can be. So those are the little things that we don't want to talk about, but I would like to vocalize it today, because that can be one of the very important contributing factor into having a good relationship or having that, love. Because when you rekindle that love, look, we've been married for 38 years. When we first met, that chemistry was totally different when we first met. And over the years now, it's 38 years down the line. What will sustain your marriage is your responsibility and accountability. No more the love, no more the lovey-dovey love, because there are responsibility around. You cannot afford just to be staring at each other's eyes and, just the two of you. No, there are other people and other things around you, your children, your grandchildren, your responsibility, and other things around you. So all those contributing things to make your marriage work, then you need to be part of those contributing things. So it eases up and free up the mind and free up the heart and have a space to enjoy as well. So, men, that's a reminder to us. If there is a cue for you to take from today, please take that. And women, at home, whatever that you do, try and speak and try and say it to your husband. Make them know how you're feeling. Because when you bottle it up so much, when the opportunity strikes, you just stand up and go with no explanation and no discussion. And I think they don't deserve that. And I think every marriage deserves that discussion. They need to know. Your husband needs to know how you're feeling. Your husband needs to know what you don't like. Other than you just standing and going and you're saying to yourself, my husband doesn't help. He doesn't listen to me. I better go and start another new family. And you have your own reason to go and start your new family or to do what you do to make your family break the way it is today. So both to work and marriage to work, then it's a give and take. Like when Qase Levu mentioned from the beginning, we heard that phrase when Bill Graham was preaching, and he always said the wife put a marriage description to say, for marriage to work, it takes two forgivers, which means
two good forgivers.
Two good forgivers. Whatever that doesn't work, you are forgiving. Whatever that doesn't work, you are forgiving. And in actual fact, another word for marriage is forgiveness. You're always forgiving. You're always forgiving. And I know maybe you listen to me because you don't go to church or you don't believe in God, you don't believe in forgiveness, and you fight for your own rights. And you may be listening and say, I don't believe that. Because when you don't forgive, then your marriage will never work.
Yes.
Your marriage will never work. I've reached a stage, I like what I said, I grew up in a church home. I grew up going to church. I don't go out dancing. I don't go out clubbing. I don't go out drinking. My life is very protected. The only thing I know was always God and God and God and God. And I was brought to me that strict upbringing. And if anybody to be forgiving, it would be me, because I learned of it in a very early stage of my life. And the only thing that I've ever known best for my life was that, going to church. But I reached a stage that sometimes I find it hard to forgive. Because you feel so betrayed to the core of your heart that you find it hard to forgive. You may be, you can find what I'm saying relatable to you. And sometimes you reach those moments you don't want to forgive anymore. But if you really, really want your marriage to work, then you need to let go. And you need just to forgo everything, that has happened over the years. Because it can be the very thing that you've discussed together as husband and wife. It can be the very issue that you're not happy with, and you're discussing it. And that very issue, they continue to do it and continue to do it and continue to do it. So how many times you need to forgive, you ask yourself. And on the fourth, fifth time, I said, okay, since I'm always saying it to you, you never bother to change, you never bother to do anything about it, then you can stay with your children. I am going. Most women have done that. But when you continue to forgive and you continue to let go, it takes two. And it takes that forgiveness. And what we use as most of the phrase this morning, it takes two good forgivers to make that marriage work. We need to forgive one another for all the mistakes we've done and look forward, moving forward with greater things to anticipate and live up your life. Maybe you've been divorced 2, 3, 4 times now, and you say to yourself, okay, after all my 4 marriages, I am just good by myself. Congratulations. Live your life and rise up to that. Don't regret what have happened because there's nothing you can do to go back and fix that. You live the moment and you move forward. Or if you raise your hand and say, okay, I made mistakes and I've got 2, 3 children with different fathers and they're all married men. If you have the moment, text the wives and say, forgive me. I committed something that I shouldn't have, and you live on. So you try and make it work now with your 3. Don't go out looking for more, but work with that 3 or with that 2 or with that 1. Now saying to yourself, I've made this mistake, and if I'm going to go this way, I need to get somebody that will love me and love my baggage or love my children that I'm taking with me. So as we speak about family today, like what I said, I'm always make reference to my family. We've got our eldest daughter, whose marriage didn't work. As you have heard her share a bit for the last 2 Saturdays that I brought her here to the studio, 2 of your marriages failed. And I've never sat down to really ask how and why, what are the contributing factors that make the marriage didn't work. Somehow I blame myself a bit with that. I could have done something. I could have provided counsel. I could have, interfere. I could have done something. But however, it's happened already, and that's 2 marriages gone. And I have my grandchildren, and they're grown up. They're 17-year-old, 16-year-old, 14-year-old. And they see their dad happily married, and they see their mom now in the second marriage not happening, and now looking after their 2 stepsisters. So there are different scenarios and different pictures, and that is mine. That is my family, that I try and make it work. So just this week, my grandson, Joshua, when I was in the kitchen, he spoke, he actually mentioned it 2 times this week. He came and he said, Nana, I would really like to visit Daddy. Or can we go and visit Daddy and our stepsister? I said, I think you should, and I think you can. After your exam, you can, which they finished their papers on the last paper yesterday with their maths. And another day he came and I said, Nana, I think we should visit Daddy. What do you think? We should visit Daddy. They are in the middle. Their parents have gone their way, and their priorities have changed. So either of the 2, their priorities don't have their sons as their priority because they have their own families. Even my daughter have moved on with her 2 daughters and have her own priorities. And they become, like in the middle. So I can provide for them. I can provide food on the table. I can provide clothes on their body. I can provide shelter. There are certain things in their life that I cannot give. And it's a love of a mom and a love of a dad. That I cannot give. And I cannot stop them from missing their parents because it's there, built in within them. And I remember in the early stage, because Joshua actually grew up at home. He was only, as soon as he was born, he was staying with me. And in those years when the mom wasn't there, I remember every night we used to hold hands and pray on my bed before we go to sleep. And most of those days, in the midst of my prayer, and he will be saying, Nana, because I will be mentioning everybody, and he knows that. And he will be saying, Nana, please don't forget my mommy. Don't forget my mommy. Don't forget my mommy. And even though the mom was never there for him, I have provided for Joshua for the 17 years of his life. But there is something that I cannot give him. The love of a mother and the love of a dad. Things of his life that I will not be able to provide. But it's from within him and from all my grandchildren, because out of that broken marriage, it's an emptiness that no one can fill. And that is why for that emptiness, I'm actually directing them to God, to find that solace in God, to find that peace that God can give. And I know how it feels when they meet their dad walking away with his newfound family, or their mom looking after and having all the attention for the 2 stepsisters. And it's indescribable, the feeling that they have, that I will not know, or for them to be honest and say it out. But I'm actually sharing with you the repercussion of the decision that we make and how much it affects the children. Or maybe you've moved on and lived your second family or third family now. You couldn't care less how your children feel. And I've always remembered when the early stage, I used to remind my daughter, wherever she goes, not coming home and just being out there in the world. And I used to text her and I said, you know, remember you have your boys. I don't want the day when they'll grow up and they will resent you for what you have done. You need to, stay connected for them to know that you are their mother. And it can be the voice to you today, and for you children who may be listening to this program as well, no matter what the circumstances may be, out of a broken home, like what Qase Levis mentioned to us today. What used to be scarce before now becomes common. As the feedback from one of the head teachers of the school, that most of the students coming into school now, they are coming from broken homes. And you may be one of them listening to us today. It's not the end of the world. So rise up and take ownership, because there's more life out there for you to live. Yeah, and on that note, we would like to cut the cake today after being married for 38 years and celebrating that on the 1st of November. So you are actually cutting this cake with us. And we are 38. For those of you with your anniversary also for the month of November, this is our cake for every anniversary. And rejoice in your wedding. No matter how many years of your marriage, rejoice as ours has reached 38 today.
2, 3.
Okay, write down. There you go. Yeah. So that's 38 years. For being married, and the cake. Thank you, Pro Events Division, for this beautiful cake done. We are really blessed with the cake prepared, and really blessed with the look of it. Thank you, Sharon. Crazy Cakes. I believe that's one of your creation. Yeah. On that note, we'll just give this time to Qase Levu to round up our program today.
Now, for those of you that are watching this program, we talk for about 1.5 hours. On marriage, it can be done.
Yes.
Yeah. It can be done. It's up to us to make it happen, because our Creator wanted it to happen.
Yes.
So we have to make it happen. So thank you again for Pro Events Division for providing wonderful cake.
Beautiful cake.
Yeah, so beautiful. And for those of you that are watching, we hope the message learn and we can improve and move on. Communication is very important. Wake up every morning, say one good word to your spouse. And I tell you, those beautiful words can make your day.
Yes.
So from here at Turek in Suba, to you, wherever you're watching, make sure at 11 o'clock.
Yes, you can join us today. We have the youth standard. We're actually inviting one of the guests. And also we'll be having virtual call-in by some of the youth. And they'll be specifically sharing about the power of tithing and the power of being, trusting in God and writing their list. So if you have nothing going at 11 o'clock, you can join us later for the youth stand-up. But for today, we would like to wish every marriage the best.
Yeah.
And please hug your spouse and tell them that you love them. Don't wait until something happens and you say you miss them. And enjoy your marriage and make sure that it works for you. So on that,
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.